the pleasure of co-directing this show together.
Woo! A couple quick things before we get started. Typical credit announcement. In your programs, there is a content warning for this show, and if you would like to see medical resources or anything about that, we just invite you to scan the QR code on the back of your program. In addition, you can see all the actor headshots and bios as well. So definitely be sure to do that if you haven't at intermission.
Yep. And there's exits on either side of you guys, but if you need to get up to use the restroom or something, please use this exit. And then also please make sure to turn off your phones and try not to talk during the production. And also after Act 1, there's going to be a brief 5-minute intermission. And with that, that's it. Enjoy the show.
Wondering where I am right now? The answer is, I could be absolutely anywhere. I mean, when you're like me and you live inside your head for all its drawbacks, it means that your brain can manipulate your setting to cater to what you want. Let me give you an example. I'm thinking of out a play that I think is going to make it big, so maybe I'm in one of those rich people houses on the beach in New England, overlooking the Atlantic Ocean in all its glory. The waves gently curling up and down as I admire them. Pretending underneath the surface it isn't filled with plastic or creatures that we all know could be used in the Jaws live-action remake. I'm internalizing the echoes of the ocean, getting inspiration in writing the next great work of American drama. I think my house could be like Eugene O'Neill's once I'm gone, a historical landmark. And people get tours and say, oh, this is where the cultural phenomenon, a play by the name of The Bad Boy and Bookworm, was burned and raised by a singular writer, the Shakespeare of the 21st century. And they'll bathe in the silence, a perfect, serene type of silence, as they reminisce on a playwright by the name of...
And a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4! Whoa, for the longest whoa, for the longest if you said goodbye to me tonight, there would still be music left to write. What else could I do? I'm so inspired by you. That hasn't happened for the longest time. Oh my God! I didn't even see you guys here. This is so embarrassing. Here I was, like, in my own little head. This is awkward. It's like we were all hanging out in my shower. Ew, no, not a weird way. Oh my God. I just mean it like a, you know. If you didn't find this completely terrible, I am a singer-songwriter with my one-man band, Singing in the Brain. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon. That is at Singing in the Brain.
Shows go for people, go back to college where people at least pretended they went to a cappella concerts.
Okay, someone has trouble sharing the spotlight.
We don't have to share, there's more than one.
You are interrupting my entrance.
I thought we agreed, no singing.
But I didn't even know an audience was around. I was just singing to myself of what I thought was backstage. You know, for fun.
With a fully memorized choir behind you.
It is a staple of the American songbook, and my guys are great.
You guys were fine.
Fine. I will try not to bring up my side gig as a singer-songwriter.
You're not a singer-songwriter if you sing covers.
It is my a cappella arrangement, and I added a ukulele to make it pop.
It's not a cappella, she's playing an instrument.
Sorry. Our girl has a little bit of an attitude today. I better get started before she gets all touchy.
I'm not touchy. Okay, you were saying?
Yeah, let's try that again, since someone doesn't seem to appreciate my completely accidental performative entrance. Thank you all for coming here to support us. Seriously, I'm shocked. The only reason that I'm here...
Stick to the script.
Unfortunately, despite our protagonist's words, we are not on a rich people beach. But fortunately, we're not on the beach because that monologue was the most pretentious thing I have ever heard.
Yeah, I promise I'm not actually a narcissist. I was just trying to do some positive self-talk. Something I've been working on in therapy to calm my nerves.
Oh, barely 2 minutes in and she's already talking about therapy. God help us!
What our narrator should be telling you is why we're here.
Yes, I am here to represent our protagonist. You know, the one who insufferably compared herself to Eugene O'Neill. A manifestation of sorts of her innermost self, illuminating her deepest insecurities and broken walls of self-worth and criticism and worries guiding you through this tale.
You're not supposed to be telling them that. It's supposed to be symbolism up to their imagination.
No one cares.
Yes.
Anyone who self-anoints himself as a writer can do anything and pass it off as symbolism. But do you really think they work that hard on it? I don't care what your hot 7th grade English teacher says. Just because your character ate breakfast in the morning isn't them filling the void in their heart. They're eating like everyone else in the animal kingdom.
I mean, if that's really the case, then I hope this will be the show to challenge that cynicism.
Don't get your hopes up.
Why don't you tell our kind audience here to see a scripted show where we actually are right now?
Okay, we are in New York City in a fancy theater rehearsal space.
And why is that?
Our protagonist here is a finalist in a playwriting festival.
It's true. I submitted an original play I wrote called The Bad Boy and the Bookworm to a competitive festival for college playwrights. And out of thousands and thousands of submissions, I was selected to be one of the finalists for the prize.
It's funny how you skipped over the thousands and thousands of rejections you received until now.
That's in the past.
Oh.
This is now. I mean, I'm a finalist in something at last. Someone thought my work was good and wanted it to be considered for a grand prize.
And what is the grand prize?
The chance for the play to be professionally produced at an off-Broadway theater. I mean, this is the last round. Me and whoever the other finalists is get to work with some actors and edit our work and present it to a judge.
So, here we are at the fancy theater rehearsal space, which is fine and all, except we're 2 hours early. We are the only souls here because someone didn't want to risk being late even though we're staying 15 minutes away.
You never know what can happen. I mean, trains get delayed, right? I'm not about to take my chances.
Well, since we are here uncomfortably early, our protagonist thought, why not run through Act 1 of her play in her head before anyone else gets here?
We won't be able to go through the whole play, unfortunately, but we can get started. I mean, it'll be a good warm-up before actually presenting at the festival in a few hours.
Give them an overview.
It's a play called Bad Boy and the Bookworm. No, don't worry, it's not the kind of story you may be fearing.
Or wanting.
It's meant to be satirical, to play off of the tropes of the so-called young love that storytelling fixates on, and to challenge the toxicity of the male heroine, the redeemable jock, who is absolved of all wrongdoing after he talks to a shy girl once and is attracted to her, who isn't like other guys because he's good at school and popular and smart.
Get it. Tell them the inspiration.
Oh, that's just things I've seen.
Oh, it's about her.
No, loosely inspired.
Oh, it's her. If it were plagiarism to turn your life into a play, she'd be in literary jail.
Anyhow, the specifics aren't important. What's important is the story that's told, which is why, as our narrator guides you through the exposition, she'll be weaving you into a quilt known as the writer's process.
I'm just the messenger, baby. I'm sorry in advance.
Look, I get it. The character wants to be a writer, and it's right up there with the character wants to be a singer.
That felt highly unnecessary.
But I hope in showing you Act 1 of this play, I can destabilize the overplayed narrative of the dreamer, the person who so badly wants to be a writer, yet at no point in the movie is ever seen with a pen or a paper, who submits a book idea on a whim and gets the book deal. I mean, this is the first successful thing I've had in a while, and I don't even know if I'm going to win. I spent hours showing you writing what I'm going to show you, and diving into the uncomfortable corners of my brain.
That's me.
Not that it's just about us, though.
Destabilize?
Disrupt, challenge, the word doesn't matter.
It's a play, not the Leaning Tower.
You know what I mean? This is something new. This is not another teen movie.
Really, because I thought it was the bad boy in the bookworm.
You get what I mean? Let's just cut to the action.
Okay, what are we going to do about the setting?
It takes place in a high school classroom, so this could be one of those, group work desks, and this one over here could be the teacher's desk. You can fill in the rest.
Okay, we are in a high school creative writing class.
Yep. Senior year. The beginning of senior year.
Okay, we are in senior year in a high school creative writing class.
And for the purposes of this run through, I'll play the bookworm. Who I play doesn't matter.
Sure, total coincidence. Go get ready. Listen, while I have you here, if you could just humor our protagonist a little. I mean, just between you and me, she has no friends, much less a relationship of any kind. I mean, seriously, zero. I didn't think such a person existed, but she has proven us all wrong. And she's been depressed, sad for years, and it's only gonna get worse when she's graduated, a struggling artist.
You can't even pretend to whisper.
I am trying to help you out. But if you could just stick with us, again, to reiterate once again, she has no friends to run this through with, much less an entire room of people to show this to before the festival, so if you'll just let us immerse you in her slightly concerning figments of imagination, that's all we really need. Again, it'll make her feel better before the festival starts.
You done telling people what a pathetic soul I am?
Oh, I was just getting started.
Watch it. You have stakes in this too. If you do a good job explaining the exposition, I'll make sure the narrator has a prominent role in the rewrite. Just for you.
But see what I mean? Just we'll go to the first scene of the bad boy and the bookworm. Creative writing class, first day, senior year.
Sorry to startle you.
It's fine, I was just editing.
Well, good news. You'll have a seat buddy for the rest of the semester. We have a new addition to our class.
Sure.
We've been doing self-editorial workshop submissions. Get started on yours in the meantime. All right.
Do you need a copy of the assignment sheet?
No, I already got one.
Ooh, let's watch paint dry for chemistry.
Oh, dude, what is up? Failing wellness.
What?
Apparently,
How are you failing on this?
attendance.
Just show up to class.
That defeats the purpose of the senior slot.
We've been back in school for a day.
Yeah. And you think a college isn't gonna take me because I didn't go to wellness?
Sure.
Look, it's like 2 hours a week of them telling me not to smoke weed and not to get laid. It's a little late for that.
There it is. You only brought this up because you wanted to boast about your sex life again.
Oh, well, at least I have a sex life. Now you seem real interested in this discourse.
Discourse is a generous term. Okay, fine, I didn't actually say that. It's just so hard not to edit your past when the opportunity is right in front of you. Fine, let's try that again.
Now you seem real interested in this discourse.
I thought you didn't sit here.
Oh, why's that? You've been keeping an eye on me?
No, I was the only one who sat here until a few minutes ago.
Oh, I get it. You want some alone time with pretty boy here.
Calm down, man.
No, it's assigned seating.
Oh. Something tells me you always attend wellness.
You know the very first thing they tell you on the first day of wellness?
There's a reason those brownies taste so good?
It takes talent to fill this
Oh,
class.
that's it's settled. I'm really talented. What am I right about anyway?
I got no idea.
Dude, I already finished mine this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what's yours about?
Oh, okay, you're gonna like this. You got this girl, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and she's like this really good soccer player. I'm talking David Beckham level shooting.
Specific.
I mean, yeah, but the problem is she's got these like super strict and traditional parents, and they don't let her play. But then the thing is she's out playing pickup one day, and she gets spotted by this like recruiter, right? And so she's gonna go and play pro, but she's gotta hide it from the parents. Pretty good, right?
Yeah, you know what? I'm proud of you. You really thought about an original idea for once.
Yeah, I did.
Have your workshop submissions ready for next class. We'll be doing peer edits, okay?
I'm glad you got under this anyway.
So that was the first meeting?
Yep. First meeting.
Exactly how it happened?
Well, again, it's not based on my experiences, but rather an amalgamation.
Yet the bad boy doesn't seem so bad. His henchman maybe a little bit.
He was an accomplice. It's only going to get worse from here.
Oh, prove it. Let's go to the next scene.
A few days later, the same creative writing class.
Hope you all had a great weekend.
I sure did.
Please take out your workshops assignments. We're going to be doing peer edits, okay? I don't remember assigning you there.
I do.
Well, for today, you can't. Go sit with your assigned partner.
Now, don't you think that a class full of nearly legal adults is a little old to be having assigned seating?
I think that every day. But you insist on proving me wrong. Go sit at your assigned seat. You two are together. Call me if you have any questions. Peace out.
Is there something wrong?
What? Oh. No, I'm just reading your story.
Okay.
But you know, now that you mentioned it, I do see some problems.
You're on the first page.
Yeah, and you know, your first page needs to be the hook, the thing that draws in your reader, you know what I mean? And this is just confusing me.
What are you confused about?
Your short story seems to be some kind of rip-off of The Handmaid's Tale.
Okay, you deduced that from one paragraph?
Yeah, it's all dystopian.
That's because it is dystopian. It's the genre I was going for.
Well, what's the premise of your dystopia? I'm not quite sure I get it.
It's about a town that creates strict dress codes for women in response to men making unwanted sexual advances.
Hold on. If the men are the ones making the unwanted sexual advances, then why are the women under such a strict dress code?
That's the point of this. I mean, it's a commentary about how women are punished for what they wear rather than some men's actions.
Not true.
What?
I mean, maybe 100 years ago, 20, 10, 5, but the point is, it is what it is, okay? It wouldn't happen today.
Okay. Have you ever been dress coded?
No.
Why do you think that is?
I tend to come to school fully clothed.
When I was in 6th grade, I was dress coded for wearing a shirt the school gave me because my shoulders were showing.
And is that why you're dressed up like you're going to take 4th grade pictures?
If you don't like what you're reading, you can just write it in your editing critique.
I will.
Fine.
Well, he's charming. Okay, other than the thing he said about your outfit, which he wasn't entirely wrong about, he was just giving you constructive criticism.
It was a 10-page story. He glanced at the first page and called me a copycat.
Okay, so he compared a short story about laws that disrespect women to the most famous novel about laws that disrespect women. How dare he? You should be impressed.
Oh, he has read a book. Give him the Medal of Honor.
It's tried and true. The jock who works with the nerd and she discovers he actually reads.
Because reading is so rare. I mean, raise your hand if you've ever read a book. See?
Half of them are lying.
You don't know that.
They're humans. They've been lying about doing their reading since kindergarten.
Whatever. I'm gonna go change for my next scene.
Fine, we'll do the intro one in the meantime.
Don't talk about me behind my back.
Oh, we will. Now, just so you know, our protagonist wasn't around to witness a scene to these two because she was out of the room and therefore it's not possible
who has the hots for you?
Okay. Last I checked, Aladdin wasn't female, though. It is pretty controversial to say.
Yeah, last time I checked, your seatmate's covered with hair. You know? Aladdin? Though I guess with all that fuzz, she should be the little monkey sidekick.
You know, you seem to know a lot about Disney princesses. I mean, how are you really using your time?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
Okay, well, to answer your question, she's somewhere over there talking to the teacher.
Thank God. I didn't come to class to be lectured.
Oh, good luck to whatever college gets him.
Her story was just messed up.
What was it about? Oh, let me guess. A transformation. You know, her metamorphosis from Disney sidekick to unattractive Homo sapien.
Okay, yeah, wait, hold on. Yeah, this is getting too unrealistic, even for me, and my existence is a figment of imagination. So,
Scene's already over?
no, I cut it.
What? Why?
It's too unrealistic.
It's based on mean things they said about
So
me.
you're telling me an 18-year-old boy uttered the phrase transformation from Disney sidekick to unattractive Homo sapien?
I was trying to make it sound more dramatic.
And I doubt they called you Aladdin. If anything, you should be flattered because Aladdin is a very attractive animated character. I'm sorry, I just don't see what purpose this scene serves.
Representing the two of them when I'm not there. I mean, if you think they're mean in person, just wait until you hear what they say behind my back.
Except you weren't there, so you don't know.
I can guess. Why do you keep defending them?
I am just a messenger, baby. Let's go on to the next scene. This is the third class, again, in creative writing, and this time our protagonist is all dressed up. Maybe they'll like your dress. There is no way they're gonna like your dress.
Well, where's the free lemonade?
It's probably too sour. I mean, life isn't supposed to give you that many melons.
Oh man, I bet she's gonna run away and join the circus.
I mean, look, whatever she does, writing isn't in her future. She should start exploring other things.
That's me. This is the point where I'm supposed to say, oh, he's gonna regret saying that in the future, and then I give a knowing wink, so it's my job as well.
Everybody take out a blank sheet of paper. You're going to be doing an exercise that you'll turn into me at the end of class.
What's the prompt?
The prompt. The prompt. The prompt is chair. Write a story about a chair. But not just any chair, gentlemen. Be the chair. Feel the chair. Don't ask me questions about the chair.
I'm the only one who wonders if this guy ever actually teaches.
Sorry. All the parts where you would be talking would make the play too long, so I just took an artistic license.
Yeah, this is so boring. So we're gonna pretend the 5 minutes are up and they're done writing the prompt and action!
Oh, you're already done.
Man, your artistic license is really making this guy look terrible.
Sorry. Go big or go home, right?
Oh yeah! You know, if you need an exciting plot twist, I volunteer myself to be killed off.
Give your writing to your partner.
I'm returning this to you.
I changed my mind. Maybe partnering up will allow you to share some preliminary thoughts.
Ooh. What does he have?
Polar chairs are going extinct. Sharing is cheering. Take care of yourselves. I love the legend of the tortoise and the chair. Sorry, I can't keep going with this.
Are you sure you aren't using artistic license there?
I wish. This is actually what he wrote.
What did you write?
We don't have to talk about
Oh, we're gonna.
Oh, so I said, okay. They've been gone for a while. I'm all alone, waiting for the moment they'll return and I can feel useful again.
Oh God.
I don't know why I bother hoping. Why do I bother waiting? They don't care about me. I'm a utility. Something they whip out whenever it's convenient.
Oh God, this is bad.
I could be replaced in seconds.
Oh.
Damaged? They wouldn't notice. They might as well put me out in a yard sale and I could go on to being someone else's.
What is this?
Once again, only a corner, whatever value left alone. For only the 2 seconds in which they need a seat, do I mean anything to anyone? Okay, I knew what was wrong with me. That makes me so replaceable, so unremarkable, even when I try to serve any way I can. I'm no Chase Lounge, no, just an ugly paperweight, occasionally useful before I go back to being irrelevant again. I'm with your thing.
Let's not discuss it. Done with yours. Thank you for sharing it with me.
Is that supposed to be some kind of reference?
I'm not let me just share that.
Oh, you shared with Pretty Boy here.
We're partners. I had to.
Oh, sounds real personal. Fuck.
Huh, who are you doing your peer review with?
Oh, these guys obviously.
Oh, well, it's a two-person activity.
We're actually part of a threesome.
You walked right into that one.
I bet you wouldn't mind a song from me right now.
Fine, but next time you're gonna have to be doled up.
Yeah.
Bro, your timing is impeccable.
The assignment was to write about a chair. Now whatever it is you're dreaming of up there. Dude, I'm sorry she dragged us into this, but we need to be 5 feet apart.
Oh, this was back when 5 feet apart was just your cute little classroom homophobia, as opposed to trying to stop the spread of a global pandemic. That's 6 feet apart, so.
Look, I gotta be honest with you. If I were to ever have a three-way with you, I think it's safe to say our friendship would be ruined. I mean, friends don't let friends scar them for life.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to get dragged in these shenanigans anyway. I wouldn't get in a three-way with another dude unless the girl's like a 7 or above. Oh, 5 feet.
Gotta unpack that.
Nice. I know. I mean, it really.
I mean, come on. They should settle for at least a 4 or a 5. And you, my darling, are at least a 3. You know, 4 if you just get those eyebrows done.
Let's just go to the next scene.
Fine.
Is it?
The next class. You know the drill.
Good news. I heard from several of your classmates that you didn't feel you had enough time to share your chair monologues. So let's start there.
I already read yours.
No, this is what I'm gonna submit.
What was the thing you gave me yesterday?
Oh, that was just a placeholder. My real story is about robot chairs that run human social media accounts.
Why didn't you just give me this one?
I don't know, everything just seems so dark, twisted.
Dark and twisty.
Yeah, dark and twisted. That's an expression I made.
That's an awfully specific expression.
I'm offended that you sound so shocked right now. I mean, of course I made it up. I have a way with words, you know what I mean?
Okay, so in that case, I have a few original expressions myself.
Yeah, sure you did.
I get up every morning and I say, it's a beautiful day to save lives. And then I do impossible brain surgeries while everyone marvels over how dreamy I am with a scalpel. If you're gonna steal phrases straight from television, stay away from Grey's Anatomy. It's immortal. Like Steeler.
Huh.
What's that, a medical book? One's finished. Alright, let's talk about yours first.
Is there a reason I always end up being first?
Look, your monologue is too melodramatic.
I know. Let's move on.
And you know, I have a sneaking suspicion that maybe this wasn't really about a chair.
Well, that's the point of the exercise, right? To anthropomorphize a chair?
Clearly you have no friends and you're just channeling back to a depressed chair.
Well, you don't know anything about me.
Don't I though?
Do you even know how to pronounce my name?
Okay, well, loneliness has a great solution. Just get a boyfriend. Or girlfriend, you know.
Listen, this is not about me. It's just based on people I know. Just someone I know.
Well, you know, that's someone you know. You someone. It's a bang.
Mm-hmm. What?
I said they need someone to bang.
Yes.
I mean, well, look, maybe they don't need to bang, but clearly someone has deep-seated emotional issues about not having anyone, friend or otherwise, so. But you know, I think it's not just about feeling bangable too, especially since the chair called himself no paperweight.
He is writing my letter of recommendation.
And?
Let's just move on to his mission before he gets kicked out of here.
Look, the man is a high school teacher. That's the tamest thing he's heard all day. Where have you been?
Apparently, my I Love MILF t-shirt's inappropriate for school. They sent me home to change.
Let's regroup and share some thoughts.
Well, I am glad that we, have finally reached a turning point. He's nice.
Really? Are we talking about banging so loudly a teacher overheard?
It was fun banter, and you liked it.
Well, if he's a jerk, then it's banter. If he's nice, then he's Prince Charming. He can't lose.
You don't know how he is with other people. I mean, maybe that's how he is all the time. And honestly, this is the first time I've ever seen you happy.
Maybe that's just because this is the most someone had talked to me in a while.
Oh, was that hard? There it is.
Listen, that's the problem, okay? He knew that and he exploited it. This is why they always say, oh, well, if he's mean to you, then he likes you, because they try to manipulate you into being the butt of the joke. Because they know you won't completely try to resist it, no matter how bad it feels, because of that small part of you that feels that some attention is better than none. But in order to feel noticed, they have to degrade you to like you.
But, I mean, we haven't seen that much of him. Maybe teasing is just his thing.
No, I know that he's not like that. Take this conversation I overheard in the same class.
No offense to you, but if you win this, she should play the protagonist.
Now what?
So what do I owe your presents?
I finished the assignment early. Hey, are you going to insert name's house after the game on Friday?
Who the hell is insert name?
That would be a placeholder. There's only like one or two.
I was playing. Are you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm glad you're coming.
Say, you do something different to your hair.
Not my hair.
Well, you look a little different.
Like, good different?
Like great different, magnificent.
Okay, we get it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get anything done. I didn't go to the salon or anything. Oh, but I did go on vacation right before school started to insert ethnic vacation destination.
That would be the second placeholder.
Really?
So you got a tan.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it looks great, especially with all the dark colors you got, going on. And that's a nice dress. Marga. Don't let it get to your head.
God, get a room.
Okay, yeah, so, wow. So he was a little nicer, but he still teased her about a compliment he gave her. I don't think you're giving him enough credit.
Fine, let's go to the next scene and see if you think I'm still being too hard on him.
Huh?
Morning.
You know, I was thinking about your friend the other day.
What friend?
You know, the one who channeled for the Sheriff Society.
What about her?
Is she our age?
Sure.
Okay, never been in a relationship?
No.
Dance with anyone?
No.
Held hands romantically with anyone?
Okay, surely you see patterns by now? You can educate the guess.
Well, maybe. She isn't putting herself out there enough.
Maybe. But I mean, is it so bad to want it to come to her? Why should she wait to initiate everything all of the time? Why can't she just want to feel appreciated for once?
Yeah, but, you know, something's not working. You know, clearly she's got to make a move. I mean, at a certain point, you can't chase. You got to start attracting, you know what I mean? And, if no one's attracted to you your entire teenage years, then no one's going to magically just appear later, you know? You gotta be the one putting in the extra work, so. At the end of the day, maybe because you're unattractive, or, you know, unlucky, but bottom line, if you don't do anything, you're gonna die. Alone.
You said I was dark.
One more question.
Please spare me.
Here we go out.
I fucking told you!
What?
Will you go out? Just a yes or no.
Like a date?
Yeah. No. Like a trip to the dry cleaner.
Why do you want me to pick up your dry cleaning?
It is sarcasm, you dumbass!
Yeah, that was a joke. Yeah, like I said.
But
So you in?
Sure.
Yes! The bad boy has redeemed himself! They're gonna go to the bookstore together, and he's gonna stand up for her in front of all his friends, and they're gonna be homecoming king and queen!
Wait.
I owe you 20.
Already?
Already?
Dude! I knew Princess Jasmine wanted to ride your magic carpet.
So, are you ever planning on posting that story about this chair? You know, I should have known. Because now, you're on $20.
I'd rather not continue this and get the gifts.
What happened after that?
Well, I asked to move seats and I moved to the far corner of the room. Neither of them ever spoke to me again.
Ever?
Well, except for one thing, they would see me in the hall, which would just be downright annoying.
Yo, hey, Jasmine, magic carpet's closed.
Calm down, man. That was not
So,
good.
that's it? That's Act 1 of The Bad Boy and the Bookworm?
That's Act 1.
$20, that was the bet?
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
so...
That is so boring.
Act 2 takeaway?
It should be something more scandalous, more exciting. A bet that he could turn you into the homecoming queen.
That model is contingent upon him being exposed by his sidekick and feeling remorse. That's not what happened here.
Where do we go from here?
I'm glad you asked. Act 2 takes a step in the right direction, and I'm presenting it at the festival in a few hours. Things are looking up. I mean, there's a happy ending.
Oh, he apologizes and they get together?
Sure.
Really?
Of course not. Let me tell you a little bit more about Act 2, so we don't leave things on channeled her frustrations and her sadness into her writing, and she was damn good at it, because living inside your own head has its perks. And she wrote plays, screenplays, stories.
Fan fiction.
Historians might say that she was the greatest titan in American drama in the 21st century.
Okay, reel it in.
And just to reiterate, what you saw was loosely based on experience.
Oh yeah, the other thing that's loose is the believability of that sentence. Don't be gross.
And folks, as you know, I'm presenting the last scene at the festival in a few hours. And here I am at 23. It's almost time to check in. Ooh, yes, okay. So, winners get to be produced off-Broadway. I mean, I ideally would have had other people to work with, but...
Again, she has no friends.
But for you, in my head, will suffice.
Give them a taste of what to expect in Act 2.
Well, let me just summarize it. Our bookworm, now years older, has a polished draft of a play that she wrote, based on her own experiences. And it's about to be professionally produced on Broadway. We follow it as it becomes a cultural phenomenon.
Well, as big of a cultural phenomenon as a 21st century play can be.
And from there, I imagine that she writes, screenplays, and she has her own TV show, and at her high school reunion, people will pretend that they know her to try to get a job. Never a wrong writer. They will make a whole new American literary canon out of you. You'll be paying off your debt for years.
Again, it's a college playwriting festival, so you could calm down maybe a little bit.
I was able to turn all of that into a work of theater. There's just one other finalist standing between me and victory. And even if I don't win, I'm glad I made it this far. Another thing I've been working on in therapy, practicing gratitude. I mean, I would love for the workshop to go well, and I would love to win, but the other finalists have gotten this far too. I mean, they might be better than me, and that's fine, because I know my worth.
You need to look back.
No, I'm all about looking forward. Being stronger from the past. I'm all about letting, oh my God.
Say, did we go to Sparks High School in Des Moines?
I think you have me confused for someone else. I have to check.
Oh, my bad. I think I have you confused too. I hope you don't mind a little competition.
Maybe he's here for something else.
You're the other finalist for the competition, right?
It was this close.
Who are you talking to?
Okay, yeah, I think now would be a great time for an intermission. Be back in 5. That's 5. And if you're not, expect the worst. It was nice meeting you.
We're at the part where someone should come running after me, see me alone, and ask us if I'm okay and all that. Can't do that when you don't have anyone. Just me, alone, on the stage. Just me, darkness, and you guys, I guess. But on the stage, there's not a single soul.
I'm right here.
I'm having a moment.
Oh, okay. Welcome back. The last time we met, our protagonist was boasting about how wonderful her play was, and giving us an overview of Act 2, where the bookworm becomes a successful playwright in some sort of revenge scheme. Or are you going to add anything to that?
I'd rather wallow.
Is that my ukulele?
Do you think it's too late to change my submission to a musical?
Ooh, not if you're starring in it.
I mean, it's better than nothing, considering my submission is now moot.
Well, you've made it this far.
To crash and burn. I mean, the bad boy has apparently become the writer. Because apparently there's not enough bad boy who secretly writes types. We're from Iowa. I mean, we went to high school together in Iowa. There are over 1,000 submissions for this festival, and you would think that guy from high school definitely won't be in the pool. He'd have to be in college, a playwright, and actively submit to the competition. Now, I don't know the odds of that, but 2 out of 1,000? That's pretty low. I mean, that's next to impossible, and I can't even do math. The archangel of probability has swooped in on this very occasion to defy the odds, seeing as it was this close to success.
It happens.
It does not happen.
Where are you going? Ah, yeah, I am just gonna give you two some privacy.
Hi.
Hey, sorry about earlier. I think I had you confused with someone else. I mean, the odds of 2 people from the same high school being finalists at this playwriting competition is unfathomable. I mean, I'm not from LA or New York or one of those writer places. I'm from...
Des Moines. Yeah, I remember. I mean, you went to high school, Sparks High School in Des Moines, right?
Oh, so we did go to the same high school together. Well,
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I don't remember your name. But is it still impossible to pronounce?
So you're still on every keychain at the gift shop?
How long have you had that one up your sleeve?
So you're pursuing writing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm an econ major, but, you know. This is what I'm planning on going into.
When did this interest start?
Well, I go to school in LA, and during orientation, I met a lot of film and TV types, and turns out I'm into comedy writing.
LA, that's how I was.
Yeah. USC?
So, you're from LA, which means you're kind of from a writer's hotspot, strictly speaking in terms of your professional birth. More so than I am.
Okay. So, what's your genre?
Drama, comedy, dramedy, drom-com. I mean, anything for the stage or screen, really.
Where do you go to school?
In liberal arts college? It's not far from home, actually.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those. I probably wouldn't know it. What are you majoring in?
Theater.
Oh, well, good for you. I mean, I know not everyone can do that. It's a big risk.
I would go into something that would pay off my debts, but I have no skills. I can't code to save my life. I tried looking into finance, but it turns out you have to start preparing for middle school to even have a shot. I failed high school biology, so there's no way I would make it out of med school. That, and I hate hospitals, and I don't want to spend any more time there than I have to. So, yeah, theater. No cushy backup.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, I don't have a backup either. I mean, backup for me is just me and the boys are gonna run a place in LA together and start a writer's room.
If that's your backup, what's plan A?
You know, just potentially a local TV gig.
Hey, I thought you said the writer's room was your backup.
It's a very particular TV show.
Okay.
It's a sketch comedy.
Okay.
Live sketch comedy?
Great.
Live sketch comedy based in New York, happening every weekend.
When does it happen? Sunday nights?
I sent them a writing packet and actually they want to see me in person next week.
Next week?
That's right.
Wait, so you're meeting with Saturday Night Live?
That's right.
To write for Saturday Night Live. Not fetching coffee or anything?
Yeah, to write. And you know, it's sick because the timing of this festival just so happened to align.
You're only 22.
21. But yeah, you know, I hope this works out. Skip the whole job survival process, you know.
You're 18 months younger than me.
Look, I mean, there's no need to be worried. Everyone has their own path. I mean, you're a finalist too. If things hadn't lined up at SNL, then I want to be here. 1 week too early.
1 week, that's really something.
So, what's your play though?
I'd rather not divulge the details before the workshop starts.
Oh, sorry for keeping you waiting. Our two finalists. I got to read your packets, and I would love to get to know more about you. Please, tell me about yourselves.
Thank you, sir. I'm a senior from USC, Fly on. Originally from Iowa.
Oh, I was in the house! And you?
Oh, I'm also from the Midwest, yeah.
Two finalists from the Midwest. What are the odds? What are you going to tell me? You two know each other or something? Well, you get over 1,000 submissions. You should be proud of yourselves. You're both from the Midwest. I love it!
Thank you. I've been submitting for years, and this is the first good thing to come out of it.
Oh, well, you deserve it. The Bad Boy and the Bookworm was the most scathing genre critique I've seen in the theater. A little extra, but scathing, nonetheless. And yours. Don't settle for the stage, son. You've got comedic chops. Bankable comedic chops.
I'm glad you think so, sir. I actually got a meeting with SNL next week.
Oh, snatch that! TV money pays the bills. A one-man show that's so bleak even your mother can't wrangle it out.
Can we discuss the agenda?
Of course. You'll both select a scene from your workshop submissions. I'll give you time to edit, work with your actors, and we'll assemble a panel of judges and select the winner from there.
Thank you.
Now, who would like to use this space first?
I'd love to.
Great. Is that okay with you?
That's fine by me.
Great. It's all yours.
Do you need something?
Your play's called The Bad Boy and the Bookworm?
Yeah.
Is that some kind of a allusion to Beauty and the Beast?
No.
Well, the alliteration is the same. Look, I'm not trying to be rude. I don't know. I assumed you'd do something just a little darker, you know. Something about an ugly chair. Some princesses.
Not for this one.
Ooh, hate to see the other guy.
You mean the one interviewing for SNL next week? Yeah, I know. Hate to see it too. Good thing I'm working to force around them so he can laud it all over my face and remind me how little I've done. Oh wait, I'm supposed to be the eye in Iowa. That's in the house.
Oh, I was trying to ease the tension.
I hate to see the other guy. Was it the best you could come up with? Have you no originality?
Well, we apparently do not.
No, I go to school in LA, which is this live sketch comedy show that only happens at 11:30 p.m. EST. Only on NBC.
That person could use a little work.
Found-ability.
But what?
Found-ability. I came up with it myself.
Oh, and maybe you should keep it to yourself.
God, he must be like a dork, right? Or an athlete, or a legacy?
Was he good at school?
I don't remember. All I know is that he played some sport.
Which one?
The one with the ball.
Oh, yeah, that narrows it down.
I don't remember. I didn't keep a spreadsheet.
Oh, no, my bad. There isn't a spreadsheet. You're not that desperate.
Thank you.
You only wrote an entire play.
Okay, I deserve that.
And, you know, maybe you're not giving enough credit to redeemable jobs.
Oh, no. Just because he's smart doesn't mean he doesn't owe me an apology. I mean, come on, they try to hide it like that one guy in the rom-com on Netflix who got into Stanford even though, what, we've never seen him study. What, because he plays lacrosse? Well, guess what? Stanford doesn't even have a men's lacrosse team. I looked it up!
Oh, wow. A fictional story that doesn't pan out in the real world. Who's going to tell her about Hogwarts?
Can you just go? My actors are coming soon.
Oh, shit. And what if they see a figment of your imagination?
We're at that point where I should be saying something profound. That kind of thing. So the weather, it's been, I can't even do that. I've been inside all week working on this. I've barely been outside. No, I think I'll just see myself out. Excuse me.
Hi, is this the rehearsal room for the Bad Boy and the Bookworm?
Oh, yeah. You just put your stuff down over there.
Thank you.
Just let me leave. Did you guys get a chance to look over the script?
Oh yes, it was very weighty.
I love it. And you know, and the fact that the Bookworm goes to such success, you know, without excusing the bad boy. It's so refreshing.
But let's say the plot was the same, except the Bookworm didn't get this shining award. It'd have the same message, right?
I'm sure. But I think you should keep that part in, if that's what you're asking. you know, the story, the satisfaction from seeing the Bookworm take all those unpleasant memories
Yeah.
and turn them into a story that becomes a cultural phenomenon. And it's glorious.
I'm glad you liked it. Let's do a quick read-through of the scene. Page 79.
Oh sure.
Dave, New York office with a view overlooking 47th Street. The Bookworm is at her desk, the more
Hello?
Hey, it's, was Matt from high school?
She tries to play cool and pretend she knows many Matts.
Matt Jefferson? Matt Washington? Matt Monroe?
Matt Ryan.
How'd you get my number, Matt Ryan?
I asked around in the alumni circles online.
Who? I had no friends.
Anyway, it's great to hear from you again. Congrats on everything with your play.
Thanks.
I guess that, creative writing class inspired you, huh?
Sure. Really inspired my sense of rage.
Right, but, you see, me and some of my friends are going to be coming into New York City for the weekend, and, like, I'm not usually one to, see plays or whatever, but, some of my friends have heard about like, your thing, and, they're super interested in it, and so, well, I figured, I guess, that, there's no better person to ask than the writer herself to get tickets, so. Any suggestions?
Online?
Right, but, anything specific?
Ticketmaster, Broadway.com, it'll all come up.
You're pretty hot right now.
The bookworm pauses and cracks her knuckles. She's about to hand him his laugh of shame on a silver platter.
Listen, I know you have a cushy corporate job, so I don't think you need a discount. I don't know if you want a picture to claim you know the girl who wrote The Bad Boy and the Bookworm. The answer is no. Anyone can see the show. Maybe seeing the show will finally give you a hint. If you want to see it, get a ticket. And if your friends ask how you know me, spare no details. Tell them that you're pretty much to owe for my first award. My pilot going to series, all of it.
And with that, she hung up triumphantly. Matt is left perplexed on the other line. The light shines on the award behind her. The end.
Just, wow. Do you have any feedback on our performance?
the performance wasn't the problem, it's just the dialogues have a lot
Oh,
better.
I have a question
Right, go ahead.
about the character of the bad boy.
Yeah.
So, I was wondering why there's so little dialogue in the scene.
Do you think it's too little dialogue?
Oh, no, I just mean, like, you're the writer, it's probably a purposeful choice,
Right.
just for my character.
A purposeful choice. I mean, the last scene is supposed to be about the bookworm. It's about her getting the chance to tell him off. The whole goes around, comes around sort of thing. I mean, if you were to have more dialogue, it would take away from that, right? So that's why I cut it out with the monologue, where he fails and she prevails.
Yeah. And just out of curiosity, how would you envision him reacting?
Oh, well, embarrassed, I hope.
Okay. So if it's it's your story, if that's what you hope, can you just write it in?
Oh, well, that's
Oh, well.
hard.
Does he feel shame?
Well, only because she's now successful and he can't play the whole, oh, well, I knew her in high school sort of thing. I mean, he didn't regret mocking her until now.
And why is that?
That's just the kind of person he is, right? I mean, that's what he likes so much about the play, is that he doesn't get the easy way out.
That. What is the easy way out?
Well, the bad boys meet the bookworm, and then bad boy spends more time with the bookworm, maybe tutoring or project or something, and then he thinks, well, she isn't that bad, even though there was nothing wrong with her to begin with. And then he is hailed the hero, and all of a sudden he's smart, even though we've never seen him reading or studying or reading for the purposes of studying. I mean, does that make sense?
Yeah. You don't think bad boy characters have development?
No. I think that character development exists. It just, the standard bad boy bookworm trope as it stands doesn't have any character development. I mean, they have the bookworm straightening her hair and the bad boy charming her by saying things like Pride and Prejudice. They try to pass that off as development. I mean, it shouldn't take suddenly being attracted to a girl to not be mean to her, and they accept his apology as if a hair straightener was actually that powerful. I mean, come on. If.
I had to write that down.
Oh, no, there's, you don't gotta do that. I'm sorry if it seemed like I was pressing or whatever. Just your standard actory nonsense, you know?
No worries, you don't have to apologize.
Sorry for interrupting. It's time to switch out. Are you all set?
Yes, yeah.
Great.
Thanks.
Oh.
I didn't see you guys there. Can you believe that happened twice? Our protagonist isn't here right now, but she sends her best regards. She's just taking a moment to, damn it, what was it? Go! Reconsidering my choice of career, outfit, yes, and pretty much every other decision I have made. Okay! Oh, that is hard for me to hear. Yeah. Just so you know, I come from a good place, really. But you already know that. I mean, you all have your own version of me in some form. Maybe not as charming as I am, but it's there nonetheless. See, I don't think the protagonist is untalented or anything. It's just the other shoe always drops. And people love to go on and on about rejection just happening for a reason and steering you towards success, but you only ever hear about those who have overcome rejection. For every Michael Jordan who didn't make his high school basketball team, there were 9 others who had his dreams, or worse, were just as good as he was. They're never invited to do a talk. And then there are those who never even got the opportunity to pick up a pen or to dribble a basketball because survival takes so much effort. And your last priority is pursuing your dream, and your first priority is just staying alive. So forgive me for not being a motivational speaker. But the protagonist needs me. You need me. And not just for my electrifying stage presence, but because you're thinking it too. I mean, let me guess. The protagonist wins and finally lauds it over the head of everyone who wronged her. Classic story, that's how it is in the theater. Plays and movies and those bad fan fictions about boy bands that I know some of you read. And don't pretend it's just the ladies. You can't clear the search history on your brain, gentlemen. Maybe you haven't liked things so far. I mean, excluding me, because I am impossible to dislike. But maybe that protagonist irks the hell out of you. And you're wondering why you came to a rather bizarre play. I mean, musicals can be entertaining. Go to Rocky Horror. A play? I mean, minus the 5% of you that like watching long speeches in the dark when you could be eating. And watching your favorite movie from the comfort of your home with your much cheaper Netflix subscription, or Amazon, or Hulu, or Disney, or Whole Foods, because I'm sure they'll have a streaming service.
Actually, Amazon owns Whole Foods, so technically...
Since when did you have lines?
Oh.
I cannot stand spotlight gophers. Just popping in when the slightest bit of light comes down, just so they can have their moment. Oh my god. I think this would be a great time
time to plug my music. Oh, you're even better. Don't leave. Don't go. Don't leave me, baby. Not again.
That's at singing in the brain. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just gonna give y'all my QR code. I'm kind of going for like an Avril Lavigne meets an Alanis Morissette. With like, I'm thinking a dollop of Bon Jovi, and Bon Jovi had like an early 2000s pop punk phase. You know what I'm talking about. Back so soon?
I just want to get this over with.
They're not gonna scan it.
No, just share.
Are you done rehearsing?
Yeah, all set.
Great. Presentations will start in an hour. I don't think you really need this.
Why would you say that?
SNL's in the bag for you. I saw your writing packet.
Truthfully, sir, SNL can't be in the back for anyone.
Theater isn't a place for comedy. You're a comedian. Go somewhere where comedy thrives, where every little thing isn't some political statement about decolonizing the woolly mammoth and nonsense. The theater isn't the place for your comedic skills.
The woolly mammoth is extinct.
Even if you don't get SNL, you'll get something or the other. You'll be in LA. There's plenty of more opportunities there than there are here in New York. And it's not because I think your work is bad. Quite the opposite. I just don't think it's going to get the recognition you're aiming for. Just something to think about.
Hey,
Hi.
how was rehearsal?
Fine. Yours?
Fine, I'm just killing time now.
Looking over your scripts?
Hey, script. You know, I can really see you talking to yourself.
I can see you have my script. How did that happen?
One of the actors just left it here and I happened to pick it up.
Even allowed?
It's a playwriting festival. You know, I'd venture that being placed a while. You know, it's funny. You and me in creative writing class together senior year, just like the bad boy in the bookworm. You know, you writing a really depressing monologue about a chair, just like the bookworm, and you know, there's a sidekick character in here that reminds me a lot of a friend of mine from high school who almost failed wellness, which he didn't, by the way. He's doing well. Don't tell him you said no. Relax. I'm not mad.
You're not mad.
I mean, I'm not totally surprised. I mean, you always did have a thing for me.
Well, it's not based on one particular person. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Really. Though, you know, I don't appreciate being nameless until the last scene. And you named him what exactly? Oh, Matt Ryan. Out of all the names you could pick, you landed with Matt Ryan? I mean, how are you planning on keeping who this play was about a secret when you literally named the guy Matt Ryan? I mean, you could have at least put some effort into fictionalizing him.
It's just an artistic choice.
You know, and I'd hardly consider myself a bad boy, by the way. I mean, is that some kind of generalization because I was an athlete? I mean, how do you think I got into USC? I got good grades. I stayed out of trouble.
I don't know, a rowing scholarship?
I don't know.
Never stopped anyone.
See, this is exactly why writers are not supposed to judge their characters. Because you'll end up with one-dimensional lampposts like the bad boy.
My characters aren't one-dimensional.
Really?
Yeah, I put a lot of work into all of them.
I doubt that. You see, the bad boy, he is the villain. No nuance, no idea what he's like outside of creative writing class.
So you think the bad boy's the villain?
I I think you framed him that way. I mean, sure, the sidekick, yeah, he could get a little annoying from time to time, but the bad boy, he didn't do anything all that bad. I mean, he's harmless, and you're turning him out to be some kind of serial killer.
Harmless.
Yeah, standard teenage boy behavior.
I'd hardly say calling it standard really helps your case.
Just because you can't take a joke? You see, this is exactly why comedy is going to a dangerous place. Because everyone nowadays finds a way to be offended by anything.
Really? I think it's because of lazy writing.
Like what?
Like, I don't go below a 7, perhaps?
Okay. So you are channeling your energy at the wrong person here. And even if it was a joke.
Maybe. I mean, the odds are the sidekick will become the villain of the story. There's already anger channeled towards him. But you get away with it because you've cracked open the book. I mean, you egged him on. You encouraged all of that.
We were just joking around.
In the process, you humiliated me. I mean, if you're this master comedy writer who has SNL level chops, then you should have been able to come up with material that doesn't depend on humiliating the person who has done nothing to deserve it.
There it is. That's what this is all about, huh? Someone has trouble letting go.
That's not it.
Good.
You said yes when I asked you out.
You mean when you did your part of that?
You said yes before you knew.
Because I like the idea that someone was acknowledging my presence, okay? That's what I was saying yes to, not your cruelty. $20, this has got to be the blandest bet to have ever existed. You could have at least thrown in a free makeover like everyone else.
Cruelty? That's the word you're looking for, cruelty? God fucking forbid you encounter some actual cruelty in your life. I mean, high school shenanigans are nothing compared to what you're going to face in the real world.
You know nothing about the world.
And you know nothing about mine. You're no better than what you're making me out to be.
Fine, I don't.
Thank you.
But I never assumed that I did. My assumption for every human being is that they're all slightly dead inside.
I mean, surely that's not what you had in mind for me, and Jesus Christ, that's dark.
What would you have wanted me to do?
I don't know, let's start off by making me a fully well-rounded character.
I tried to.
No, you didn't.
I did. I tried to make you a full-rounded character.
Then why didn't you?
Because it doesn't make what you did okay. I have issues, as do you, by virtue of being a part of the same species. I mean, humans were genetically predisposed to harboring a constant cloud of darkness everywhere we go. Maybe there's some sort of survival of the fittest explanation for it, but again, I never tried to humiliate anyone else as a result of it.
Humiliate is a stretch. I asked you out as a joke in high school.
That is humiliating. For someone to think that you think something is real, that the bad boy is reformed, that is humiliating. I have enough anxiety every time I have to so much speak to another human being because for some reason there's something wrong with me that keeps me from making connections. Maybe I'm just unlikable. I don't know, but that's another issue that I have no idea how to navigate. Now, if that person has a Y chromosome, well, all bets are off, which thanks to you is an expression that can be taken completely literally. I'm only ever thinking that I'm the next target. The person who wants to see my notes from the other day's class or who asks me where the restroom is. I clench up. I wait for laughter. Waiting for the only other attention directed at me to be insults about my looks, protected by the immunity of designating any words as a joke. Sure, it hasn't happened again, but you know what else hasn't happened? No one has ever said, I like you, or you look nice, or something that might not make me think that I am incapable of being wanted. I'm 23. I'm graduating college next month. I've never been kissed. I mean, I've been asked out on a date once, and I don't need to tell you when that was.
You should really consider that. I mean, one high school prank shouldn't be making you feel like this.
I've been in therapy for years.
Okay, but do you go to the doctor regularly? Like, do you put an effort into taking care of yourself, or are you just hoping that you can write all your problems over? I mean, look, there's no shame in seeking professional help. I mean, writing can be cathartic, maybe yelling at me can be cathartic, but, you know, at the end of the day, there's no proper substitute for medical care. I mean, look, I know it can be hard for you to admit at first, but once you do, I promise you it can change your life. Please, just seek medical help. I can look up the resources for you if you want and everything, but look, at the end of the day, you are not dealing with your problems in a healthy way.
I almost died from a coronary artery attack at age 16. A coronary artery dissection, actually, because of years of trying to starve myself. So yeah, I go to a cardiologist and a nutritionist. One therapist, especially for eating, and a psychiatrist that took me years to find because the first three told me to go for a jog or start wearing makeup to fix my problems. So, I have professional help. I had to take time off in high school to start and to get that help. I have years of medical bills to prove it. If you're looking for receipts. That and a very painful scar where the incision was made. To remind me. In case I forget.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Respectfully, I don't see what I have to do. I mean, you're all but calling me a murderer.
I'm not. You brought up concerns about my medical history.
But I didn't even know you back then. You said you were 16. Don't get almost 9.
I'm not kidding you.
Then why are you writing me off to be some villain?
Because you made me believe that it was so unthinkable that I could be liked. I'm allowed to hate you for what you did, even if it's not the worst thing that happened to me.
Look, if a guy has never made a move on you, that is not my fault. Okay? Maybe it's because no one has ever liked you that way. Not because I cast an irreversible spell on you that has kept you away from your fairy godmother. I mean, have you ever considered that maybe you've just always been this way?
You didn't need to have cosmic pity to have your redemption arc.
I hardly seem like the type of guy you'd write a redemption arc for.
No. See, I believe that people act out in ways that they've come to regret, or that they just can't control, and that they can evolve. I have evolved. You're choosing not to. You're hardly alone. I mean, a redemption arc is supposed to be a well-crafted storyline where people learn from actions, but they aren't excused. No bad boy stories I've seen have had that. I think redemption arcs are possible for anyone. I just think it requires admitting wrongdoing instead of saying, oh, well, I shouldn't have been mean to her because I now find her pleasant to look at.
If you want to be a writer who writes a realistic instead of a fairy tale, you are going to have a very rough time. I mean, I read your script. How do you know that the bad boy is going to fail and the bookworm is going to get this full circle moment where she prevails and gets her plots? I mean, look, I'm up for a job at Saturday Night Live. I am smart.
Fine. Maybe, just maybe, if there was a movie made about you, you would actually be the character who's scene studying.
Well, you know why they don't make movies about people doing homework? Because it's fucking boring. Thanks for calling me 1 in a million.
There are, what, 7 billion people on Earth? 1 million is still 7,000 or so people.
I'm sorry I haven't turned into the serial killer you hoped I'd become.
Why do you keep bringing up serial killers?
My character's name is Bad Boy.
That's not synonymous with serial killers.
Okay, but it was implied I became evil. That it was my revenge, and everybody hates me, and I'll turn into one of America's greatest villains. I mean, have you not seen a serial killer movie in the past decade?
No, I have not, but that's what any serial killer would want. We have enough hot actor who isn't even good at acting playing the villain movies coming out every year.
You are going to have a difficult career if you think that way.
Me, a not wealthy person with years of medical bills who wants to pursue the arts for a living is going to have a difficult career? I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
Look, in another world, we could have been interested in you. For a good 2 to 3 seconds. I mean, what are you gonna do if you win? If this thing gets produced off Broadway? Are you gonna try to end my career before it even starts? Because everyone, and I mean everyone, will believe the sad little girl who went to a no-name school over the guy who went to USC who's up for a job at SNL. Especially since my heart hasn't been ripped open. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got a script to go over, so may the best man win.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. I think I gave him a good telling off.
You did not. You told the guy that you're a 23-year-old who's never been kissed. I mean, you better pray to God he doesn't get SNL because that will be a sketch. And he got the last word. And that was in no way, shape, or form a telling off. That was your worst nightmare.
Okay,
Okay? What is wrong with you?
haven't we been discussing that for the past few hours?
You had to go and have your moment over him. How long were you dreaming that up? Did you rehearse that conversation for years?
In that whole conversation, he kept insisting that I was the one who was getting to offend him. It's funny because he outdid any anger that I've ever had towards him.
You should be the one apologizing. A guy you liked in high school asked you out as a joke, and you are still so wounded by it that you went and wrote an entire play. I mean, he's right. If that's what you call cruelty, then you are really, really lucky. Oh, a guy was slightly mean to me in high school. He laughed when his friends insulted me. He asked me out for money. But that wasn't even his biggest crime. No, his biggest crime was that he didn't like you. And your ego couldn't take it. And then you had to go and bring up your broken heart out of left field that had nothing to do with the play or him because you wanted people to feel bad for you.
He brought up my health when he implied I wasn't doing enough.
You go on and on about reversing genre tropes and rewriting the narrative, but you are right there. You want those things to happen to you. You want the bad boy to fall in love with you. You want him to be attracted to you all of a sudden. But it never happened for you because you are impossible to be liked. And now you're bitter. And you're trying to pass off this bizarre story as a work of realism, and no one is falling for that. Well, no one's falling for that but you. And no one's falling for you.
Why am I impossible to be liked?
You know why.
I mean, even if I'm just uninteresting, what crosses me over the threshold to unlikable? What are you doing?
You think I can't write my own songs, princess?
Oh, not this again.
Watch this! Here's a list of all the things wrong with you that make you unlikable. A real pain to talk to. You're so insecure, full of neediness, trying to care for you's like diving into the abyss. Queasy, anxious, and depressed all the time. Even though you have no reason, your life has been fine. Middle class girl, a safe place to land, but it was never enough for you, so please understand.
You talk to someone.
Jesus.
So, what was it like?
What was what like?
You know, whole heart surgery thing? Did they say page cardio, push one of every, code blue?
Oh, it was not.
Not that you have to talk about that, right?
Well, I fainted in the middle of history class. I was feeling nauseous and a little out of it, but I disregarded that because it just kind of became my default by that point. So I drank more water and I hoped that it'd go away, and it didn't. And when you faint in the middle of history class, the school doesn't want to be liable for anything, so they send you to the hospital. I was conscious, awake, and annoyed that the school insisted on being dramatic.
You went to the emergency room?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get looked at for a few hours. I was just feeling a little breathless. All I could think about was the embarrassment of fainting in the middle of class.
You were embarrassed that you fainted?
Yeah, mortified. I mean, we were all taking a test that day, and I inconvenienced everyone. People were annoyed that they lost time, that they had to pause.
I'm sure they weren't. I'm sure they were just concerned.
About their grades. It was a midterm.
They should have been more understanding.
I didn't clutch my chest and dive to the ground, if that's what you're asking. You know, I was sitting upright for 4 hours before they checked me out and they saw what was happening.
Any cool dreams while you were under?
I didn't get the deluxe death package. That was dark humor. You can laugh.
Right. Right. Dark humor. I can't imagine what it's like. Almost dying.
Well, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, not that I can actually begin to know. I was under the whole time. I didn't even get to go into the light or whatever for all my troubles and come out with a bankable story.
Do you know why they had to open you up? I mean, sorry if that sounds weird. I just read somewhere that a heart attack doesn't always mean heart surgery.
Well, I mean, they didn't rip open my chest exactly. It was a coronary artery dissection. My artery before. It's very rare, apparently. Complications came from the septic shock that followed. And the only thing rarer than a coronary artery dissection followed by septic shock is surviving septic shock. That's the one time the universe took pity on me after giving me a broken heart and destroying my body.
Broken heart? How does that even happen? How does that lead to your things like that?
Well, imagine that you have a bunch of tiny dominoes. I don't know why these are here, but in between these tiny dominoes are these huge domino walls, and the chance of a tiny domino knocking them down is 1%. Well, I was the 1% multiple times. My tiny dominoes against all odds managed to tear down every large wall, meaning anorexia wall that tore down a heart wall, which tore down an even larger, more serious wall. I mean, all of the dominoes and walls that had to fall in order for them to open up my chest, well, they all fell.
I see.
Yeah. I mean, I have a knack for knocking down those dominoes. I mean, I am sitting with you right now. How many walls did my tiny dominoes manage to knock down in order for it to come to this? I'm prodigious. I mean, I've never predicted the winning lottery numbers. No, those were the 99% of walls that don't fall. Just my luck. Any more questions about the tear in my coronary artery?
Oh no, I'm sorry if this felt like an interrogation. I didn't mean to do 20 questions. I really wanted to talk.
Are you doing a study on coronary artery dissections? Because if you are, you can always call it coronary artery. The girl who took a broken heart to heart.
I'm just at the beginning of my career.
What?
I can't let one joke derail it, so please, if you ever do change anything, at least change the guy's name. I'd really appreciate it.
Did it ever occur to you to say sorry?
What? I just did.
Not for 20 questions.
I'm sorry you said you go to a no-name college?
I just walked you through all of the ways that I survived against all odds, after almost dying against all odds. I mean, do you really think I care about how prestigious people find my education?
Okay, so by your logic, this whole vet thing should also not be a concern.
Insulting my education is very different from your vet.
No, it's all the same.
No, it is not all the same. As a recipient, I'm telling you, it is not all the same. I mean, your vet did not almost kill me. I will give you that. But is that where the threshold is?
That's not fair. You're contradicting yourself.
You are hardly the only person to have ever insulted me. You just got an entire play because it best encapsulated the different bad boy requirements. I mean, a bet. It was the cream of the crop for bad boy tropes.
Please stop calling me that.
You clearly feel bad, otherwise you wouldn't be here talking to me. I mean, you know that what you did was wrong. Why can't you just admit it?
Okay. That bet may not have been Nobel Prize winning behavior, but it was a fucking joke! It was humor. I was playing around. That's what humor is. And once you start policing these jokes, it's all downhill from there. I mean, you are going to have work to be pressured deeper and deeper until there is no going back. And one day, we'll turn into a dystopian fucking society where humor is deemed a criminal offense and no one is allowed to say anything that could potentially be offensive. I need a second.
Apparently, apologizing for being a douche will be the downfall of mankind. God, this isn't how I thought the show would turn out. This is not even my genre. I wanted to be the writer that makes edgy dramas about totalitarian societies and alien invasions and espionage. I wanted to write a play about Reagan coming back to life and he and Gorbachev at a summit on Mars and discuss space colonization. That's what I wanted to write about. No, my theater professor said it was too fantastical, as if Shakespeare's entire career didn't depend on ghosts and witches. So instead, I turned the mess of self-pity I am into a play that won't sell, and I need it to sell if I want to take care of myself and make a living. We all know that we're all broken in one way or the other. I mean, some of us get the innocence of childhood before we start to break, and others of us, well, we get thrown into the world without the age of innocence, with repairs already made. I mean, we don't want to remind ourselves of that. We don't want to go to a play and see that again. So, yeah. I mean, theater is supposed to be escapism, immersion, the wicked witch defying gravity, the opera singing ghosts in the basement, founding fathers rapping about adultery in a little too much detail. I mean, that's what theater is, right? Entertainment. It's not reality from some wannabe writer. I mean, if reality is even the word. I doubt that a 23-year-old who has not so much as held hands with another guy, but survived a heart attack isn't much of your realities. And well, if it is, the club doesn't accept any membership fees. Or have any members, really, except for me. Maybe I should start charging. I mean, I've got to pay years of medical bills somehow. Listen, I know that he got the last word. And he's going to be on one can break my heart when he's already done that on his own. And I have scars to prove it. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's just. I realize that they're gonna have to change the expression so that's physically possible to having broken heart. The coronary artery torn. It defeats the purpose of the metaphor and what love can do and all that nonsense. I mean, you can't say that it's raining cats and dogs and not worry about the possibility of it being literal but a broken heart. I think I just broke the world's most universal metaphor.
Are you okay?
Yes, Hi, sorry, I was just, talking to myself, just writer things, always thinking in dialogue.
Okay. Did you say you tore your coronary artery?
Oh, no, well, yes. It's for a character I'm writing.
For the bad boy in the bookworm? I don't remember the bookworm having heart problems.
Oh.
Does the bookworm have heart problems?
No, it's for a different character, for a different play.
But I thought this was your editing time for the bad boy in the bookworm. Are we not presenting the scene?
We are, it's just that I'm not working on a new and completely different play. Because I finished early, so that's what you heard.
Yes. Okay. Well, I left my script.
Oh,
That's right here. Yeah, I just wanted to go over the scene before we present. Sorry for barging in.
Don't worry.
You gave me the whole script, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Did you think that I needed to add something?
No, it's your story.
Because you can say it if you do.
Well, I meant what I said during the read-through. I do love the ending. I do really love the reversal. But I just feel like the bookworm in Act 1 is like a new person in Act 2. Which I know is what you're going for, change and all, but I just feel like they're completely different people. Like everything that troubled her in Act 1 completely disappears when she starts writing, and I couldn't quite pinpoint how it happened. It was like a switch.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And sorry again for interrupting your thing.
You don't have to apologize. I'm an idiot. Okay, fine. You're right. I was embarrassed. I didn't write in the anorexia or coronary heart stuff because I was embarrassed. And my brain essentially thought itself into a physical problem. There are so many of us who are born with physical problems that can't be solved. I had a healthy heart. I mean, there are so many people who wait years for transplants and never get them. Or are still in utero when their problem is discovered. Here I was. Alive. Lucky. And even when the anorexia stuff went south, I didn't want it in. I didn't want the bookworm with the same thing. I wanted her to... I wanted to rewrite my fate. Because the darker stuff is my life, and it has been for years. Okay? I'm sorry, I wish there was something that could, fill all of this space. Something recorded to fill the space. Must it be as depressing as I am?
Why?
You done crying? Free trial's over. Want tears? Get a subscription.
Are you editing?
Yep.
Ooh, what's the new ending?
I don't know, I'm thinking of adding a monologue.
Oh, what? How does it go?
Give me a minute.
please feel sorry for me monologue?
It's more of a I'm still slightly dead inside monologue. The actress gave me the idea.
Explain the idea.
Well, she thought that my rant, professional or mental breakdown, whatever you may call it, was a fitting monologue for the Bookworm in Act 2. She thought that Act 2 Bookworm was changed. I mean, not more developed, just completely different. Just healed after a little intermission. No remnants, no scars.
Okay.
Well, the monologue could be the ending. I mean, it could be the Bookworm's very difficult process of writing and trying to recover, and in the end, she ends up with this play, Bad Boy and the Bookworm, and she writes her experiences in it. Only to end up against the bad boy, the inspiration for the bad boy in an elite playwriting.
So what I'm hearing is that you're going to once again take the easy way out and plagiarize your life.
I'm going to use Act 2 to illustrate a rocky start to a lifelong healing process. I mean, she's a writer. That's the whole point of the story. It just goes from being a bet to a full-length story. I used the very thing I was afraid of. I mean, I used the bad boy bookworm trope.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I did. I had a character change with the click of a button. It just wasn't the bad boy.
That's it then? You're gonna show us a long, hard journey and end it with a long, hard monologue?
Something like that.
What's the purpose of the monologue?
Acknowledging her broken heart. What led to the broken heart, how she's recovering from the broken heart, and how Yvette really came to play with it. And when she starts, it's non-stop. It's like being a little kid and playing pretend and not thinking about it twice. And in the end, she ends up with this revenge story, only in a cruel twist of fate, to end up against the bad boy in an elite playwriting competition.
Are you gonna finish that thought?
But, it sucks, but, she prevails. I mean, it sucks that she is able to get out of that. And it makes sense because we see the whole arc of the story. We see her trying to get up and trying not to go backwards. It seems like everything wants to push her underwater. Of trying to get past the setbacks of teenage boy behavior that want to make her sink deeper. Of realizing that all of this hypothetical thinking and conversations with herself and daydreaming can be turned into writing to give her a boost of air. And what she's done, she's not drowning. She'll be bobbing her head up and down, slightly out of breath, but she is not drowning.
So you are writing in the
anorexia, the coronary heart section, the lifelong stress it casted on our high school years, the excruciating fear of what people thought of her, of needing help, disciplining others, all of it. Fictionalize it more, make the names less obvious, but I'm writing her as a fully developed character. I'm writing her as a fully developed character. I'm writing her like every other white male protagonist in the 20th century.
Well, I think she sounds like she's still just looking for someone to feel bad for her.
She's not. I mean, she's being truthful instead of spiteful.
How?
Well, in the original ending, she needed to see the bad boy fail in order for her to prevail. To make the hatred in herself worth something in the end. So it all relies on the bad boy for approval. It all hinges on the guy's reaction.
Oh, that's worse than the original ending.
I don't see how.
Liking yourself more doesn't happen with the click of a button, a switch.
Have you been listening?
No.
I just used the exact same analogy. It's just a very small, hard to see with the naked eye movement in progress. Time to learn about herself. I mean, you're right. The bookworm is writing this fairy tale thinking that she'll prevail and that he'll fail and that the world actually operates that way.
So that is it then. You couldn't have just decided to like yourself less while simultaneously pitying yourself more earlier?
If it was that easy, it would have already happened. I mean, it's not a decision, it's just a marker. The measurement isn't that different from the outside, and learning to grow will be a hard and difficult process, but she actually wants to grow. It's not linear. She thinks that all of this self-hatred will make the pity in herself worse something in the end, but it only makes her feel less sorry for herself, more sorry for herself. It's like being on a seesaw. I mean, she may never get off of it, but one of the things weighing her down has eased ever so slightly.
If you think saying stuff in metaphors is going to make me shut up, only know it is succeeding at making me more irritated.
I know, you're right. I have an actual broken heart, story? Well, it's a story that I want to tell. I mean, actually, you shouldn't be watching her become a successful writer. It should be her seeing him succeed and then her becoming a better writer, arguably because of it.
Stop with the analogies. I mean, you are no Shakespeare. You don't sound poetic, you sound desperate.
I know I'm not Shakespeare. I mean, I no longer want to be Shakespeare. I wanted to be Shakespeare, Arthur Miller, Eugene O'Neill, Tennessee Williams, not because I aspired to write like them, but because I aspired to get the validation that they did, as if it'll fix me. I'm done letting all of these deceased white males be main characters in my life. Well, deceased white males and you.
What the hell do I have to do with this?
You're a pain in the neck. Singing, dancing, spotlight hogging, pain in the neck.
I am not.
Yes, you are. I should know. I let you take over every cell of my body when you should only have a small corner of your mind to yourself at best.
Oh, so what? Are you gonna kill me off?
I wish. I mean, as long as I'm alive, you're immortal.
See, you can't get rid of me. You can't ignore me. I might be a pain, a necessary evil that protects you in the long run. I am not going anywhere.
Right. You're a permanent resident of my brain. But I don't think I need you to be a character in my writing.
What?
I mean, I thought that the audience would benefit from having a narrator to explain the exposition, but the audience does not need a hijacking person who's trying to promote their non-existent singing career. Just because there can be a narrator doesn't mean there should be. So yeah, new narrator.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the part.
No. It's just that your part doesn't exist.
But they love me. You love me, and my ukulele.
Oh, you still have that? Let's see if I can do this.
Who taught you that chord?
You're the B-U-R-D-E-N, and don't you ever make us listen to your singing again. It's almost time to present. I can't edit this now. Oh well.
I take it back. You don't need to humor her.
You didn't make any edits to sing.
I don't have time to. I had to go with the bookworm prevails for the scene, but I'll change it when I get home.
Did you like mine?
You're a good comedy writer, but I already knew that.
Well, why do you say that?
We didn't really get a chance to talk about it in creative writing class, but I remember. You wrote the short story about a guy who's always smiling, who everybody likes, who cracks everybody up. It's all a facade. Masks the deeper pain in his life. He isn't even aware that he's being a funny guy. He's not even aware that he's switching.
I wrote a short story about robot chairs that run human social media accounts.
The one I read was. Sorry, I'm attempting empathy.
Look, I don't need your patronage, okay? Isn't that what you hated about the genre you claim to satirize, what you were trying to fix?
I don't want to fix anything. I can't even fix myself. For my own sake, I'm trying not to hold a grudge. I don't want to fix anything.
You can't. Nothing's broken.
Fine.
You are 23, and no guy has ever liked you. You've had human hands sewing into your organs, and no man has ever liked you. I mean, people our age get married, and you're... I don't even think there's a word. I mean, we may not have all the same experiences and perspectives, but people our age, at least we are awake. And you are still comatose.
All right. 23. I'm actively on my way out. No chance of waking up now.
Comatose. There's your word for it.
What, you don't like their humor now?
I won. You live in a universe where everything is ammo to turn everybody against the guy making the joke. And when that doesn't work, you slip in all this heart stuff. I mean, what am I supposed to say?
Would you have humiliated me if you had known what I've gone through?
The heart thing?
All of it.
How was I supposed to know your circumstances? Should we just get rid of free speech because someone says they're hurt?
Did you think you were funny?
I mean, it's funny when people are gullible. There's a reason why 50% of comedy comes from the sheer stupidity of characters.
Okay, so then let's say I were to kick you right now really hard and sing you in pain, make you laugh. I mean, would that be acceptable?
Kicking is assault, not a joke.
But you think what you did was a joke.
I mean, comedy is supposed to push boundaries, to make people uncomfortable in order to be uncensored and free. And comedy is the one place where no one has to cover their scars.
It doesn't make it the place where you should rip other people's open. The color yellow is supposed to induce good feelings. I mean, it was my favorite color before everything went downhill. And when things got bad, I stopped wearing it because I didn't want to attract any other attention to myself. So, I bought this my senior year to mark the occasion. Why I was wearing it then and why I'm wearing it now. So I get to hit that place where it makes me happy again. Instead of scaring me. You kind of threw a wrench in that plan.
And that's all, folks, for this week's episode of Guilt Tripping, Yellow Dress Edition. Tune in next week to see the bad boy become the serial killer. I would not wish what you went through on anyone. I would never wish anything that badly on anyone. What I just hoped that you would understand is humor is everything. My body is 75% water, and the rest of it is just humor. It's the 25% of me that keeps me afloat from it keeps my head from being swallowed by the rest of the water that consumes the rest of me. I mean, what you believe is offensive or wrong, or labeling things that way is all it takes for someone to go under. And we can only keep swimming for so long until laughing is declared obsolete. I am scared out of my mind that one joke will end me because of some dying need of designating everything as hurtful when the exact purpose is to escape that feeling. I don't want to live like that. I want to stay afloat. I want everyone to stay afloat. I want you to stay afloat. That's all. So please, just think about that before calling anyone a serial killer.
For someone who claims not to be a serial killer, you sure do tend to bring it up in every conversation.
Jesus Christ.
If you would have thought to apologize, I would have forgiven you.
I'm sorry if my words came at a bad time. Good luck.
I am sorry you lost. That sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. But at least now I have edits I don't think I would have had otherwise.
Oh yeah, we should start working on the edits.
We?
Yeah, we. She's right.